Design fault, what problem?
We designed it with the intent that the lectern would be placed in the apron of a stage, and that the lectern would be there for a speaker, presenter to be standing at the lectern. Not anticipating, I guess, traffic in front of the lectern. However, the way that they are going to use the space for some presentations, possibly, maybe for handing out awards or whatever, I guess there is anticipated that there would be circulation in front of the lectern where the wiring would be. Though we had reviewed things with various representatives from the school district side, including sharing drawings showing where connections were, I guess it wasn't, even though we've shared that information, we've had meetings, unfortunately, I guess it wasn't apparent to them until they started using it the way they intended, that's how the wiring was designed. But we had shared that during design. Unfortunately, that didn't come up. So we do have a resolution to relocate one of the wiring positions. So I did want to
hear more about that. Your report shows on the change order log proposal, there's 43 items related to design.
Mm-hmm. Right.
That is still out there?
This log is all of the issues on the job, all of the money involved. So any allowances, it also has any change orders that affected the GMP. So this is everything.
What do you mean by 43 items still related?
Meaning that actually with the new change orders in this meeting, it's still 43 related to design. I didn't increase the number related to design issues. We've had 43 numbers related to design for the past, I don't know how many months.
Okay. All right, we'll get into the scopes.
But they are checked off on that log. For instance, COP1 was, I believe, a design issue. That was a long time ago, but that's one of the 43 items.
I see.
And if we look toward the end of the log, I'm getting to the end, sorry.
This form is hard to follow. 318?
Yeah, as we're getting toward the end of the log, a lot of the COPs are allowance related, so they're actually not attributed to
the project.
Design, unforeseen. They've been allowance items. So we haven't had design issues come up in a while. This one, perhaps you could debate whether we could debate on whether that's a design issue. We certainly shared all of the details of the design prior to bidding, so that there was an understanding of where the connections were, and hoping that
Okay. Let's see what happens.
Sharing that information would, that everybody could review it and understand it. But things happen. There's a lot of detail. There's a lot of stuff going on in that auditorium related to AV.
Sure it was. Okay. Anything else?
There's no further update on furniture, though I was trying to get an update. They were hopefully getting final deliveries the day that I sent this report out to you all. And I was trying to get a further update. I think that we're all set, but I can't unfortunately say for sure. My interior designer who deals with all of the furniture, we've been missing each other. I was trying to get further details today and she was not available.
Okay, but it's not going to change the cost at all. So
no.
That's not delivered.
No, we were just really waiting for a few final items
delivered.
to show up.
Yep.
And once
Yep,
they did and she checked them out, then we would pass through the balance of invoices for approval.
Okay. Yep.
Okay.
All right.
That's pretty much it.
Okay. Any questions from anyone to the architect? None? Okay, Jennifer, sitting with us for any questions we have coming up. But we'll move on off of the architect's report to the Collier's monthly report.
Good evening.
Good evening,
Two
sir.
items.
How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you. Happy New Year to everyone. Just two items to add. This week on Friday, we're going to be going out, Jennifer, myself, and Downs, to go through the punch list, hopefully one final time. Downs was out there with a large number of their subcontractors taking care of punch list work. And hopefully we're going to review it and close it all out.
Your report number 2 says the schedule does not show the remaining punch list work.
Correct. That was done over break. This was sent prior to that. I put the report together on the 20th.
Oh, okay. All right.
Today in the job meeting, we established that Friday we're going to go out there and go through the punch list. And then the only other thing to add, we can talk about the AV when Steve gets on, is during the meeting, we were given an update that those acoustical panels for the 3 classrooms on the 2nd floor are in production and hopefully landing in Simsbury come I'll say middle of February and possibly March. So hopefully that work will be done shortly.
Good old deliveries.
Yep.
Anything else?
Those are the kind of two big highlights. I don't know if there's any questions.
I was just going to ask that. Any questions of Colliers? Hearing none, you're going to sit in and listen to the rest of this report
Yes,
from
sir.
Downs? Okay. We'll move on
Thank
to the
you.
next item. Colliers' report is done. Construction manager, here we go. Mr.
Hello,
Steve.
everyone. Happy New Year. Steve Smith here. You should have a copy of our monthly report submission for the meeting with the
Yep.
usual front page financial information shown there. If anybody has any questions, probably the big thing is under the GMP, the pending approximate change orders of minus 351,800. That's the credits involved in reconciling allowances and so forth of many that we have tonight and ones we're working on moving forward. So our hope is by the next meeting to have all allowance reconciliation complete and COPs issued with all credits associated with them. There's credits involved in every allowance item. So there is one for the GMP items that we'll get to in the back there. But
Okay.
this it's the same picture we've been showing every month with the anticipated give back on allowances and contingency.
Any questions on that page 1, the building? Okay,
So
move
it's
on.
approximately $1.1 million coming back to us, Steve?
I'm sorry?
Yes. Yep.
It's about $1 million coming back.
Oh, yeah, approximately.
Yeah, it started last month, Lucian. We executed, I think, 2 COPs with credits on allowances. Tonight, there's another one for $232,000.
We'll get into that, Steve, when we get into it. Okay.
Yep.
Good job, Steve.
Yeah, looks like the company has done a good job so far. Okay, let's move on to page 2, the schedule update, so on and so forth.
Yeah. So as Ken mentioned, over the holiday week, we hit the job hard with quite a few subs tackling remaining punch list and extra work items. There were some doors to replace that were extra work, some more painting to do, some locker cleanup with punch list, and that's what Ken and Jennifer mentioned that Friday. The team's going out to sign off on those. Hopefully, we don't come up with anything new, and we'll be at that point where punch list in quotation marks is complete, and anything left to do is really additional work you've already authorized. The big thing is, as Ken mentioned, those acoustical panels in those 3 classrooms. So we anticipate those being in the end or the first week of February, and then schedule that with Scott to get in those classrooms and get that installation done.
Okay.
Moving on to, go ahead.
Hold on, before you start your change orders, any questions up to date here? Okay, moving on with number 2, your change order proposals for approval.
So the first one, COP 315, that's an allowance item with the HVAC subcontractor. Once the final duct sealing was complete on those exhaust fans of those last holes that were found, he had to go back and rebalance that system on a Saturday. So that's, zero cost impact to the GMP as it's an allowance. 316 was some miscellaneous flooring replacements. Same thing, zero cost increase to the GMP, an allowance with the flooring subcontractor. And COP 18, that's the GMP allowance credits. These are not through a trade. Those are directly through Downs, as shown in our schedule of values for temporary enclosures and protection, fire stopping of existing walls, and patch repair existing finishes, and finally the lead paint removal. So those 4 items tallied to 232,500. None of those funds were expended, so it's a nice clean reconciliation, and that COP 318 gives that back in the owner's court.
Good. Okay.
And that's really it for COPs. On number 3, that's what Jennifer was talking about. So I just created the number 317
Okay.
for her PR 31 for the AV work. The electrician gave it a guess number of $5,000. It was clearly a guess. This was received over the holidays. His vendor is now back this week, and he's now looking at this to give us a hard number.
So that'll come up again next month.
Yeah, so maybe once I have that and the discussion to move forward proceeds, maybe there's a chance for either a special 5-minute meeting or something to get going versus waiting till February to release this work and then get it going.
Okay, let's see what the numbers are. We'll go from there.
Yeah, and see if you want to do it. So,
Okay.
And that's really it. Once you get to our invoice, the number has changed from what's on this report once we get in those approvals. But
When we get into that area, let's go in areas first.
But
You've got a couple of change orders here we need to talk about first, right?
no, there's no. The next change order itself will be number 17 with tonight's approvals themselves. But COP wise, that's all we have.
Okay, so give us the one you want to talk about, COP 17?
Well, 317 is the one with the AV work that was mentioned previously.
Oh, okay, yeah,
So, again, that was just a WAG number from the electrician with no input from his vendor who actually would do the work
okay.
as he was away on holiday. So
We have no CPOs to actually vote on for approval then.
no, because the other ones are allowances and then the credit.
Yep. Okay, yep, okay. All right, moving on. What do we got here? Hang on. Does that take care of any questions to Downs at this point? All right, moving on. We have pay application number 21 in the amount of.
Hold on a second, please. What's this item number 5? Items for discussion.
Those have been on there for a while, Lucian. Those were, there are no items affected by COVID.
Yeah, right.
So at one point.
Okay, so nothing to discuss tonight.
No, nothing.
Nope.
Okay,
Okay, moving on.
Thank you.
Invoice 21, the amount of $97,383.85.
Correct.
Motion.
So moved.
second.
Second. Any
I
questions?
got a question on this, Dick.
Go ahead, Mike.
On item number 51, it's the 6th or 7th item down, the added general conditions and staff. They're over 100% billing. That may be okay. It was just something that stood out.
That's on the second page. What item down again, please?
It's the first, second page of the billing. Item number 51, added general conditions staff.
We're at 101%, Mike, right?
101%.
Yeah, it may not matter. It's a small item. It just seems like there should be, there's an explanation.
Yeah, that should be 100%. Mike, that's a good pickup. I'll have to make an internal transfer to zero that out to 100%,
All right,
which we can pick up on the next invoice.
okay. That makes sense. We can do that. You have a problem with that? Okay. Do we have a motion and a second? Any other questions? All those in favor say aye.
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 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, approved. All right, moving on. I guess that's it for our friends in the Downs. Thank you very, very much. Next, we have an invoice from Castle Booze, invoice number 16018.14-27 in the amount of $1,000. Our motion,
So moved.
second?
Second.
Any comments, questions? All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
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 Okay, that's been approved. Okay, moving on. That takes care of Castle. Next item is, item G is Van Zelm, invoice number 0047858 in the amount of $210. I hear a motion?
So moved.
So moved.
Okay, any questions, comments? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
One,
Aye.
2, 3,
Aye.
5. Okay, everyone's approved that one. That's okay also. All right, that takes care of all our invoices. Any old business? All right, under new business, we pick our meeting night. We meet the first Monday of the month usually, so our next meeting would be February 1st. Does everyone have a problem with that? If not, Jeff, you want to try to schedule that for February 1?
That's fine.
Okay, now do we want to have an alternate just in case we have a problem? Can we do February 3rd, Wednesday?
I think that works.
That works for me.
Okay. Why don't we go with February 1st? And if that's a problem, Jeff, we have to, any indications we have to move, we'll move it to the 3rd.
Great. That's great.
Any other comments, references? Hearing none, do I hear a move to adjourn?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Thank you very, very much, everyone. You have a very, very nice week, and everything went very well, I think. And
Good night, everyone.
move this on.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Have a
Good
good
night,
evening.
Mr. Chairman.
Yeah, bye-bye.
Happy
Thanks,
New
everyone. Have a
Year.
good night.
Bye now.